Ahí está. Ahí, güey. Ahí, güey. Ahí, güey, vamos a matar. Pendejo. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Te la pelaste, güey. No pasa nada, pendejo. Toma, puto. Get fucked, homie. Get fucked. Shit. Boom, fuck it. Shit. Ay, güey.
Oh, damn, son.
Immediate medical assistance
Oh,
needed.
bitch. Fuck it. If I die, I die, homie. What's up?
Hostile patrol detected.
Where you going, bro?
Rogue Commander Seeker Mine detected. Hostile Commander Seeker Mine detected. Landmark enclosed. Rogue Hive detected. Hostile Hive detected.
Find cover! Fuck you up!
3 Jeez.
I want you for the dirty and clean. When you're waking in your dreams, make me bite my tongue and make me scream. See, I got everything that you need. Ain't nobody gonna do it like me. We are burning at a high degree. And you make me feel like it burns and it hurts. Baby, this part of the rush. This is us. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? What is love? Yeah. I walk it, I talk it, I live it. What we do behind doors is our business. On my body, he giving me kisses. I'm wet when I'm wet, I'm popping like Adderall. Baby, dive in my beach and go swimming. Let's go deep, cause you know there's no limits. Nothing stronger than you when I'm sipping. I'm still gonna finish, I'm drunk, I ain't had enough. One day you hit and you go, telling me lies and it's killing me slowly. Yeah. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love?
Today I'm going to bring you another build video. This is a much requested build video from my previous video that I published called Don't Go Into the Dark Zone for the Eagle Bear. This is the build I use to go 1v server. Of course, a lot of those players are PvE players, so this build still works in terms of 1v1 situations or 1v2, but when you're playing against sweaty players, don't count on this surviving and tanking everything. But this build is similar to my other build. The only difference is really the 1.8 armor and the new but now old new pieces, Catharsis, and also Brazos, which is Prakaros holster. The other items are still the same, best in slot, but I'll go through them as I usually do. So of course the gun is FAMAS, which is the meta assault rifle out there with damage to target out of cover. I use in sync. Most people use Optimus or Measured or some other talent that is not reliant on a skill, but I'll explain why I still use in sync. Nemesis is also a raid weapon that most people use because you're either fighting long range or short range. Long range, you can essentially one-tap folks with this gun, so very handy to have for long range battles. I don't use the pistol often, but I see a lot of people use Orbit, so I just put that on. So the biggest difference with this build with my previous builds is Catharsis. If you look at the talent, it provides you both a combination of survivability and also the extra damage. This is different from my previous build where I use Coyote Mask. The main thing for this is that this gives me survivability with more that I have more armor. So if you look at the talent, it says taking damage gives you stacks of up to 30, and each stack grants you 1% weapon damage. This effectively gives you 30% weapon damage in fights as you're taking damage. But also, when you take damage, it triggers what they call the Purge, which actually drops a healing hive that repairs 5% of your max armor for 10 seconds. Now that doesn't seem a lot, but if you see up there on the sub-talent or the sub-attribute, it says 20% incoming repairs. So I don't know the exact calculation, but it definitely feels like 25% repair in terms of total armor repair over time. And it's actually very effective in any situation, 1v1 or 1v many, as you'll see in my clips. So yeah, that's the main reason why I use this, and a lot of people do use this. I think this is meta now. And not much folks use Coyote. Catharsis is your main exotic here. Now, in order to, you also do lose crit chance by putting this on because you have armor regen and incoming repairs. So to compensate, I have changed my backpack to Seska for that extra crit chance. I'm still running Adrenaline Rush. I think that is always going to be useful for any situation, especially in the Dark Zone. So that's why I have that. I wish it was armor rolled, but it's not, so I have to deal with it. I think if it was armor rolled, my build would be 2 million armor. Okay, my chest piece is the same. It's still the Fenris with armor rolled Unbreakable with crits. And of course Contractor's Gloves with also armor with crit damage, and also Fox Prayers with crit damage and armor. Of course, and then the last piece is the one difference as well. For this season, it's going to be the Prakaros holster. A lot of people have tested this, and this is meta. Essentially, that 15% weapon damage that's not crit but guaranteed weapon damage, and also rolling crit damage, which going to be the best in slot, I believe, for this as well. So this combined, I think, is the current meta, which will probably change in a couple weeks when the new season comes out. But this is what I've used in most of my clips. Just to explain a little bit on my skill selections. Scanner is still my #1 skill because having awareness of where players are at is super critical in playing in the Dark Zone and really half the battle. Now, this is going to be strange for most folks, but I use a striker drone, not for the damage. The damage hits 4k per hit, which is pretty much useless. But what it does is it constantly procs my in sync, #1. Now, if they kill my drone, then I'm screwed. But other than that, for the most part, most people don't shoot the drone in a sort of tight battle where they're just focused on shooting me, and my drone's running around poking them from left and right and really just annoys them, but also procs in sync. And it also acts as a pulse. If you notice when you walk around, your
Darkzone drop.
for my particular button configuration, R1 is my way to activate the drone. So if I have my drone out, I see a player coming in, the R1 symbol shows up in front of their player icon. So it actually helps me identify, you know, players or anything that's going to be against me as I run around. So it gives me a double awareness on top of my pulse to see where players are at. And then I select the player with R1, and then I use my FAMAS and I have in sync. So it acts as many ways, like 2 or 3 benefits, and that's why I use it. Of course, the number one counter to this is jammer. Once I get jammed, I'm kind of screwed, but after about 15-20 seconds, I get back to striker drone and I pop it again, and it keeps repeating. So I like the drone. A lot of people use defender drone and jammer instead, and this is like personal preference for me. So this is my build. Of course, don't forget firewall. It's firewall medkit still meta, so I would use that for most of the time for builds like this. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the build. This is the build that I use in all the clips and what I've been using recently. I don't use my old
Shade agent has
build
claimed
anymore,
Darkzone
the
drop.
1.3 build with Coyote. This is the one I go with. It hits a little bit less, maybe 100k crits before the Catharsis proc, but once it's proc, it goes back to where Coyote, if it was on, which is around 140, 130. So, okay, hopefully you enjoyed the build, and I think the next season will have different meta with the new Paladin gear set. So look forward to that. It's gonna be crazy hard to kill folks. You know, it's going to be reducing up to 50% of
Easy
incoming
drop
damage.
claimed by a
So
shade
builds like
agent.
this won't matter anymore. The new meta next time I make a video will probably be the Paladin gear set. All right, enjoy, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.